Well, I know something that we have determination to do.
Let's go.
This podcast. Yeah.
Whee!
Here we go.
Woo!
Welcome to the Artie's Attic Warehouse 13 Fancast, where a steampunk girl, a lifelong sci-fi fan, and a rocket scientist chat about the popular 2009 sci-fi series. There's never a dull moment with the agents dedicated to protect humankind from unexplained phenomena that manifest their powers in special objects. And there's all those friendships and relationships along the way. Grab a cookie while you can. Hope you don't smell fudge. Gear up with your Farnsworth, Tesla, and Neutralizer, and let's have some fun by snagging it, bagging it, and tagging it.
Welcome back to Artie's Attic. We're a Warehouse 13 fan cast. I'm the Warehouse 13 janitor, taking Micah's maid outfit to the cleaners for future use. Yeah, my name is SP. And introducing Artie's Attic lead agent and historian who is 6 pages into writing her spy romance fanfic with a sci-fi bent. It's Agent Shannon.
That's called bearing a well stuff right there. What's up, guys?
Yeah, with some naked fembots, right?
Always. Always.
Wouldn't have
Start
it
up
any other
Micah in her
way.
white t-shirt.
Yeah.
She was in a white t-shirt again.
I know. I'm loving this.
It's the only outfit she has anymore.
And also returning, you just heard her, is the warehouse agent who can quit watching Breaking Amish anytime she wants to. It's Agent Carolyn.
Just watch it for the drama. I can quit anytime. What's up, guys?
Sure. Also, they referenced Honey Boo Boo, which is another TLC show.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, not that one.
We are continuing our Warehouse 13 series discussion with the episode that premiered on Monday, May 5th, 2014, 5 months before the satirical telenovela Jane the Virgin premiered on the CW.
Really? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, apparently it was. It was a satirical telenovela.
Hmm?
I'm referring to the Warehouse 13 Season 5, 4th episode, Savage Seduction. The TVGuide.com description reads, Pete, Micah, and Artie help Kelly Hernandez, Pete's ex-girlfriend, save her grandmother who's trapped inside a telenovela, and in the process, fall in and become characters of this Latino soap opera themselves. Meanwhile, Claudia and Steve investigate a strange accident at a university that leads them to discover an artifact that literally duplicates its users. Shannon, would you ever take a college class and give a presentation at 7:14 a.m.?
I would take anything that requires me to do a presentation. No.
Yeah,
Nope. Negative.
exactly.
Question. Did they bring the cat back out? I don't remember the cat being back out in
I
Grandma's
had that
front.
question too.
What
It's a
happened to the
gato.
kitty cat?
What happened to the kitty cat? I mean, technically, if he broke the brooch and everybody else came out, then technically I'm thinking the cat came out too because he went in. So my guess is yes, the cat is out of the bag. But you never see it.
No, I never saw it again. Well, I can honestly tell you the B side of this episode was my favorite considering I was not a fan. I don't like it. I'm a fan of Micah's outfit.
I thought you might be.
You know, there was quite a few pause and go, Okay, play again. But in general, I didn't like. I mean, I know that the type of telenovela that they do, they overreact and everything is overreact. I just didn't. I found it more aggravating to have to watch and read the subtitles throughout the entire thing. I did love how they had the Spanish guitar playing at the entrance of the theme song. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but I did not care for. It got to the point that I would like skip through that part and just go over to Claudia and Jinx.
that was a good part too,
I did
especially when
like how
Jinx
they
was too.
parted Arturo's hair.
Oh man, that was funny.
Yeah. Also, Pete, definitely season 5 and I said this before we started, is a season to watch Claudia. The entire series so far has been, if you want to watch the progression through the series and follow a good story throughout the season, that would be Claudia. And this episode either proves it or not. I know there has been those people that like it, those people that don't, but the consistent story has been Claudia. The fun story in this case, if you like it, is the telenovela.
Which I did. I was laughing my butt off because I think it was the dramaticness of it. Yeah, the storyline in it wasn't that great, and the telenovela was. Yeah, I mean, it's a telenovela, so you can't take it seriously. And Kelly in that dress being pregnant cracked me up. I'm like, yeah, she'd never be in that dress.
I was wondering if she
or
was
those
really
heels.
pregnant. Was she really pregnant? Does anybody know? I tried to
Don't
look
have
it up.
any idea.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know if she was pregnant or not. If she was really pregnant, that was really cool.
I mean, the trumpets, every time they drop the cufflinks, the trumpets and the ole after it. I mean,
and the different noise when they put it back in the hands.
I was dying because they had to do it every time and their face would jiggle. I'm like, oh my God, they must have had so much fun making this episode because somebody would have had to like spray their face with some kind of air after they picked it up and just like every time, how do you not laugh at every time you get sprayed in the face with air and then all of a sudden you hear this trumpet playing and ole.
There was a moment where when they went into the jail cell where Arturo was waiting for it and he was trying to, when he was kissing Micah's arm, you could see that Joanne was trying not to crack a smile. I don't know if you saw that, right? She was trying really hard.
I mean, how could you not? That the whole thing, it was just, it cracked me up. I
looked all week long for it, but I used to have, and again, it's been over a decade, right? So I used to have a video of the making of where they were talking about how they didn't have to learn Spanish, they just had to learn the lines in Spanish.
Was it a special feature or a commentary on your DVDs that you own?
I don't own the 5th season, so I don't know.
Oh.
I purposely
How have
didn't
you
buy
been watching the 5th season?
I've been watching on Amazon.
Yeah, well, here's the bad news for you.
Well, today I had to go back and watch that second episode. Well, I'm already on the next one past this, and I had to buy it.
Yeah, okay.
I had to rent it. That's
Unfortunately, it's gone to pay the license. I guess they lost the license again or something. I don't know. But you have to pay for it again.
2 more episodes left.
Yep.
So I rented one today, and that's the next episode after this, and then I'll rent the next one.
I just ended up buying the 5th season because I rewatched this right before we recorded. Today was the cutoff. So I did watch it yesterday, but I wanted to watch it again. And then there's 2 more. So they're like $3 a piece. I was like, might as well just get the whole season.
I own the whole series now on Amazon because I had to buy, what was it, after the first season, we had to buy the second season? I think that was what we had to do.
Yes.
And then we could watch the 3rd season, but I was like, well, I may as well, because I bought the 2nd season because we were still podcasting. So I was like, well, if I'm going to own 1 season, I'm going to own the whole thing. So I just bought the whole thing.
I have it all in DVD. I never bothered with the 5th season. So, because you're still going to pay a DVD box set price for 6 episodes.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
But it's just right there. So I just did it anyway.
Yeah.
But I do remember what I was telling you. I do remember there being a behind the scenes talking about it. And I could not find it.
I was thinking about that because not only do you have to learn, you learn lines, but you have to learn them in another language. So you have to learn your lines, but they're in Spanish. Not that you have to know what you're saying, but you kind of have to know what you're saying so you can, emote about what you're doing or be over dramatic about it. I think this one I needed the laugh and it made me laugh. I was dying laughing. And now my parents are doing that around the house. Ole!
I was watching it and Sasha had FaceTimed me and she's like, are you watching like Spanish wrestling? I'm like, I said, listen, what are they saying? She's like, what are you watching? I'm like, and I turned around. I said, oh, she goes, oh, I thought you were watching the Spanish channel. I'm like, it kind of makes me feel like it. Yes.
I was going to say, this one must have been really easy for Sasha. She didn't need any subtitles.
She didn't. I kind of need, I'm like, you should be sitting here right beside me and tell me what's going on without having me reading it. But But I did play for her the opening theme song of it.
Yeah. It was the ending too. They had the Spanish ending too.
Mhm.
Yeah. It did crack me up in the beginning when, Pete's walking around and he's finding Micah writing her book. And it's been more off than on. I'm on page 6 after, 6 months or something like that. And then, Kelly walks in the door and Pete's like, did I do that? And she's like, you do know how babies work. We've been not a thing for 2 years. And he's just standing there. And Micah's like,
Breathe.
Pete, exhale.
Yeah.
And he exhales.
Don't blame him. They work in the warehouse. Stranger
True.
things have happened.
True. But she doesn't work in the warehouse.
No, but I mean, that was the whole thing about her leaving because he was working the secretive stuff. And, the Micah thing never really entered into their breakup. It wasn't until they just made a thing about it at the end of this.
Yeah, that part was like, okay, they just kind of threw that in there because they've got a couple more episodes. Let's just throw in there. Well,
They
you're
did
in love
throw
with
it in
Micah.
there.
And I'm like,
But
okay,
they
you just
also
threw that in there.
But they also threw in, oh, don't kiss her, Jen. Why? Because that's your brother. They threw that in too.
That was, yeah. I was like, see, that's
Like,
your brother.
See him? Damn it, people.
That's more your brother than he is like someone you should love. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. But this, it did make me laugh, especially the B story too with, oh my God.
Jinx was
with
awesome.
Jinx. How fun must it have been for Aaron to be able to play this guy who was like, look at your bestie. She has her twins out and they are
She's got
rocking
girls
it.
out and they're rocking it. And she's like, I'm liking you. You a little bit more at the moment.
Yeah, you a little bit more at the moment.
So coincidentally, do you guys know that Aaron Ashmore has an identical twin brother?
Yes.
Sean Ashmore. Sean did not play the identical twin in this, in any of the stunts or anything. This was all done
Aaron.
by special effects and camera work. They
had a twin right there.
I know. They did not use Sean.
Let's just think of the money they could have saved.
Sean was probably busy doing X-Men at the moment.
Oh, that's true.
He was an X-Men.
That's true. He was the X-Men. In X-Men, not the X-Men.
Not the X, but he was an X-Men.
Yeah.
I want to say they were probably about the same time.
Aaron Ashmore is the reason I started watching Killjoys because he was in it.
I know he was in it. I never watched more than 1 or 2 episodes.
It was
but then
really
again,
good.
you got to remember, that was my group.
Sci-fi. Yeah, it was right after Defiance. Yep, Defi.
Look at me. I didn't even get into Winona Earp until like the last season.
Yeah. That was Di-Fi days.
Di-Fi.
By the way,
Di-Fi.
since we're talking Killjoys, Shannon, your girl.
Which girl? I have a couple.
From Killjoys.
My girl? Who?
Yeah.
The main actress?
Hannah John Kamen.
I don't think she's my girl.
I think she was on your list.
I don't think she's on her list, but yeah.
I don't know her from anything other than her doing that.
Okay.
And I've never watched it.
She was in Ready Player One. So that's one thing. And she was in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, she was the
She is in
one.
Tonight, I think it's premiering, Thunderbolts.
Yes, because she's the one that phases in and out, right?
I don't know what that is.
It's the next Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers movie. It's coming out.
It's the next movie. It looks really good. I think it looks really good.
Oh, that has...
I think it looks funny.
That has Widow's sister in it, right?
Yes.
Never watched...
Florence Pugh.
I never watched Ant-Man Wasp thing.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's all right.
It's a Marvel movie.
Hannah was very wooden in it. And I think she might have been buying into the character a little bit too much, where the character doesn't emote all that much. I didn't get anything from her. And it's a stark difference between that and her Killjoys character, because her Killjoys character was very fluid, very dynamic.
See, I don't even know what the premises of Killjoys is. At the time, I remember Cookie that used to play Defiance with us. She was very much into it. She very much liked her.
Yes,
but I never got into it.
honestly more of a Dark Matter fan at the
Me
time
too.
than Killjoys. So
That's right.
I
They were on the same time, right?
it
Yeah,
seemed,
they were on at the same time.
Yeah.
It was Killjoys, then Dark Matter.
seemed more serious, more
Boss.
good. Yeah,
Two
Two
Boss.
Boss. It seemed like a better sci-fi series, but the problem for sci-fi was that was being produced. Dark Matter was being produced by an outside
Canada.
agency
Mhm.
production company,
In
and
Canada.
yes, they both were in Canada. One was not owned by Sci-Fi. That's my point, and that was Dark Matter. That's why they chose to keep Killjoys over Dark Matter.
Well, they gave it one last season. That's all they did. They gave it the last season that they gave it its last season. That's all they did.
Yeah, but Dark Matter ended in that stupid
Yes, it did.
cliffhanger.
Yes, it did.
I was explaining to Sasha the other day the way Sci-Fi does things where after the third season, you're pretty much going to be done with it because they have to pay extra the
Yep.
moment your fourth season, because then things start going to syndication and they get paid extra. So you're normally going to lose it. But I was thinking, I think the Defiance game has already come back out, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I wonder if they fixed all the.
Arissa Wi-Fi invited me to their Discord server. I haven't
Okay.
joined it, but
Oh,
because I'm not ever on. I have enough social media. I can't keep up with the social media I got, so it's hard for me to keep up with
It's not
Discord.
really social media. It's just a chat room.
But and I have time for that too. Right? Sure. But yeah, she invited me to it. Her and
Ryan.
are playing it again, but I've heard that it has a lot of issues.
I would imagine.
Because somebody picked it up again, and they're chesting it out or something like that. I don't know.
Somebody bought it and were putting it back out, and they were supposed to have fixed the glitches and stuff, but it was the same. There was nothing new to it, so you were just able to play it again. I'm like, I played that for so many months. I got so far in the game that you had to accumulate weapons, right? And I got so much. I got so good at one game. I never would one gun. I never would give it up. So everyone else had to start fighting around me because my gun would no longer kill the new baddies that were coming at me. But I tried going back and starting it over again, and I'm like, I'm so far at the beginning. I don't have the patience to sit in this without the crowd of people that I used to play with. So I don't think I told Arissa, I don't think I have any computers that are capable of
doing
downloading all that again.
I just looked at this is the chat room for the Discord thing.
But the game got me
There's
thinking.
like 75 messages, and I haven't.
It got me thinking. There was a Warehouse 13 board game. That's what I would like
Was
to play
there?
one day. Not only is there a
I
Warehouse
know
13
we wanted a
board
bingo game for Star Trek.
I
We
know.
never got that.
We never got it.
Bingo Star Trek.
I
We never
know.
got it. Rude.
Well, we get the Defiance game going, but we never played it or anything. But I made all those cards and everything,
I remember that.
and the
I
money,
remember that.
the Monopoly cards.
The Monopoly cards. I
But-
remember that.
Do you know that there's also paperback books of Warehouse 13?
I did not.
Yes, I had them. I don't know where they are now in this house, but I've had them.
Oh, that would
I
be
think
cool.
there's two different ones that were out.
And they're
Yeah.
books about Warehouse 13, or
it's like reading an episode. It's like reading a story.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, they're paperback books. So for those of you that are listening to it and rewatching it with us, if you didn't know, not only is there a board game out there
For Warehouse 13?
for Warehouse 13, I'm not sure how you get it anymore because it might have been something they only
eBay.
offered then. But I think you can still buy the paperbacks. Probably Amazon, maybe.
I don't know. Let me.
I don't know. If I can still find paperback books for JAG, which I have those
That's
too,
true. Yeah.
and Charmed, I have all, and Stargate SG-1, I have all those paperback books, but I'm sure you can still find Warehouse 13.
So
Let's
it's somewhere listed right now between $35 and $50 on eBay.
The game?
The Warehouse 13 game, yeah. As far as the
Huh.
novels,
There's a novel right there.
Yes. Where'd you find that on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon. A Touch of Fever.
yep, tie into Warehouse 13.
Only one
Psychic
left in stock.
Healer.
Order soon.
Gotta get on
They'll
that.
print more. Okay. I have a question for you, Shannon.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever watched a telenovela?
I have seen them in passing. I've never sit down and got into it. I know that even those have the quick, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the extra
But do they have
sass.
the ole?
That's what my mom would call it. They always had the extra sass. When
Oh my gosh, there was so much sass in this episode. It
Kelly had so
cracked
much sass, right?
me up. Oh my god.
She was going to come after. Was
Or
it
the-
Maribel? Maribel?
Yeah, Maribel. Yep.
Yeah.
Or the way that the way that Pete would walk down the hallway. More dramatic.
And this long mustache.
And that mustache. Or him figuring out he can speak Spanish. Hola español. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? I'm like, really? That's the thing you come up with when you figure out you can speak Spanish? I can speak Spanish. Where is the library?
Où est la bibliothèque?
Oh, he's a dork.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
I can imagine they had fun. I think all of them,
Oh my
all
God.
around, had fun. Can you imagine the
This-
fun that
This would have been
Jinx
like,
and Claudia were having
oh man.
behind
Especially
the
when,
scenes?
yeah.
I would imagine. I could imagine
Yeah.
him trying to keep a straight face.
Oh, I don't know how he kept a straight face with all of the other stuff there going on. And, you know,
Biatch.
biatch.
I mean, he went from last week to this week. It was not his favorite thing, especially since he used to be in a frat. Did we find out which frat he was in?
No, but apparently he did, what was it? It was book club and
Karaoke.
no,
Were they
it was
carols.
was it
Oh, no. Acapella. It was acapella.
acapella,
Yeah.
festive acapella or
I
something
love
like that.
how she's like, you were in a frat. She's like, and we're not talking about this anymore. That's why. No.
She's like, oh, I need to know this.
Shannon, do you have a favorite sorority or fraternity?
no,
Okay.
No.
I don't know anything about
Do
them.
you?
I know they're Greek in design.
Well,
Yes.
we used to joke that because there were no fraternities at my college.
Mhm.
We used to joke that we were part
Question.
of the
If
fraternity
we go
that
for-
was Alpha Phi Alpha Air Force Academy. Alpha Phi
Oh,
Are
Alpha.
geez.
fraternities for men?
Yes.
Okay, so for me to even know it, I had to understand the basics. So fraternities are for dudes, and what was the other one?
Sororities.
Sorority.
Sororities are for the girls.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. We have
sorority
them all
for
over
5,000, please.
Corvallis.
I'm sure they are all over Dallas, SMU area.
Yeah.
UNT has them. Yes.
You wonder how much Toyota paid to be in this show because
The
they
Prius.
like had the Toyota and he's like, I just
I
love this car.
Prius.
It just shows me where the best places to park are. It shows me where the best places to go are. I mean, it even gives me the best route.
I'm like, all I have to do is ask Siri now. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I
didn't
have
ask.
the same
Went off.
I have the same navigation system in my Highlander right now. It was the last year, it was the last model that Toyota had. So it was the only model that Toyota had in 2019 with that navigation system. So literally I'm living on borrowed time and I just use my phone and CarPlay and the Apple Maps and the Google Maps now, because as good as that is, it doesn't show me real-time traffic and it's not updated. So give
Yeah.
me something that's updated.
Yeah. Still, I mean, product placement in this, especially these last episodes, it's funny to watch the product placement of things.
Yeah, but this is not the first time. The first time was when he got rid of the other car and then he bought this
yeah.
one, right? And they did the long lingering shot on it and everything. This was the second. Let me tell you, that car is not worth pining over.
It is for Jinx.
Apparently.
It is for Jinx.
Him and his long legs.
It was super funny. Prada came back into this episode too because Micah needed to cut off circulation to a shot in Artie. Artie got shot. And she's like, give me your belt. It's like, but it's Prada.
Devil wears Prada.
Well, Prada has been prevalent in my house. And it's always Pete that has Prada.
I like how they were discovering that it was Maribel doing things because she was leaving feathers around.
I know.
I'm like, did that not remind you of the game Clue?
Yes.
little bit.
Mrs. White did it in the library, right?
Yeah.
Leaving feathers as evidence.
I did find it funny when Pete was talking to Artie, trying to figure out what the artifact is that's making this TV have grandmother in it, and Micah and Kelly got too close and got sucked into the TV. And it says, Artie, this house is not clean.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, straight out from Poltergeist. I actually had to look that up because I've never seen Poltergeist.
Yeah, I hadn't either. So now I know. I was like, what is that from?
I don't like horror movies, so.
Neither does Sean. But I can tell you, when I was 9 years old, I knew that movie. The first one, there's 3 of them. The first one, I knew it line for line. Wasn't even scared of it. Out of all the horror movies in the world, that is the only one that Carrie has watched. Because it did scare her. Yeah,
Funny.
I'm talking, this is a girl that's scared of butterflies. But that one didn't scare her.
I wonder if she'd be scared of E.T. Because you got to admit, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Because you got to admit, at the end of that gets very scary. You got the government trying to, what looks like, kill their own people. They're just trying to gas them and put them to sleep as they're climbing over the mountain in Devil's Peak or whatever that is. And then you have the big mystery of the music that goes crazy and loud and everything. And
I remember the music, but I don't remember the storyline.
I haven't seen it in forever, so all I remember is
I know that there's a movie
music
with that name, but I don't remember the movie.
I remember the music, but I haven't watched it in forever, so
You need to watch some 80s sci-fi.
Couldn't tell you on that one.
Well, we're talking about old movies like Poltergeist, and in my opinion, Close Encounters of the Third Kind it might not be a jump scare, but it's not exactly your friendly neighborhood alien either.
I tell you what's scary about Poltergeist is that after they made the movie, the actors went back and they were talking about how the props that they used in the movie were real skeletons, and they didn't tell anybody that. So, like, there was a part where the mom falls down into the pit where they're making the underground pool, and all those skeletons have popped up. Those are real skeletons. They didn't inform the actors. There was all sorts of things that were happening to the actors while they were on set.
Talk about you're having like nightmares for forever being on that set.
Now, part
thank
2
you very much.
scared the crap out of me. Part 2 was scary to me. Then part 3 was stupid. By the time you get to 3, it's just not worth it. But number 2 scared me a lot.
I didn't even watch number 1. So.
There are those series where 2 is better than 1. Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, a lot of people say, is better than Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Terminator 2, a lot of people say is better than, and then Aliens, better than Alien. Now that's debatable because there are people that like horror. They're like, oh no, Alien is much better than Aliens. I'm like, no, I don't like horror. Aliens is much better than Alien.
See, and I know Wes Chamberlain, the guy that plays in The Expanse, he and
Wes Chatham. Yeah.
Thank you. He and the author did I don't know if they still do, but they did a podcast, and those two absolutely love Alien, and they will talk at nauseum over it.
What's the difference in Alien and Aliens?
Well, Alien was the very first one. Yeah, and it was more of a horror. It was
because it's suspense. You hadn't seen the alien creature yet, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And it was the first time the alien shot out of the guy's stomach in the middle of the table because he was eating.
It just reminds me of Spaceballs.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, not again.
But that one also reminds me of Creature of the Black Lagoon, I think. Was it that where they came up on the beach? I remember I used to get them confused when I was little because I just remember this alien popping out of this woman's stomach. I thought she was in the back of an ambulance, like on the beach somewhere, and like the creatures had come up. But maybe it was aliens. I don't remember.
Okay. So we've been talking about artifacts and the effects being different in the later season. I'm just going to point out some things here. So breaking the brooch ended the effect.
Yeah, because he didn't have a purple bag, or he didn't have a bag or anything with him.
So why did the candle not work that way? Why didn't
The
the
candle
music
didn't get
box?
broken.
Why didn't the music box work that way? Or the cards last week after they were neutralized?
Well, the candle wasn't broken. Oh, but you're wondering why he didn't stop. Okay. I got nothing, bubble guppies. Just the way some artifacts are, some artifacts are stronger than others. Plus that the brooch was a brand new artifact, so it didn't have time to fester, maybe, and get more power. I don't know.
Why did the candle keep? What happened?
So the candle was neutralized. Remember, Claudia put it in the bag, but then you still had the 2 steeps.
2 heads, yeah.
Right.
And she goes over and shoos him. But bestie, WTF? Sorry.
She had to push the little Peter Pan
Hope
shadow
to see
back
you
and forth.
soon.
Right.
And then she just watches him fall off stage.
She just watches him fall, and he's like, I'm going to be sick. Oh, not on these shoes, honey.
They have the best. To me, I think he had the best lines in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Claudia did when she was getting back into the car, and I forget what he said, but she said something like, "Oh, do tell, Chantel," or something like that. I can't remember the exact line.
Those two always play well off each other.
Oh, yeah. They were definitely good play off each other people.
So there were 2 people that were shot this week.
Yes, the mom or the grandma and Artie.
Yep. Both shot in the arm.
In the arm. Yeah. But it's just a flesh wound.
Like, that's not how this works, but okay.
It's just a flesh wound. She has to take it easy. She's old.
Talking about Steve, what other fictional character would you like to see both the party version and the serious version at the same time?
Micah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see her party version because we most of the time just get her serious version. Yeah.
I would like to see the serious version of Pete, too. Ooh, Artie. Totally want to see the party version of Artie. Can you imagine?
Well, he apparently has a history. We keep getting hints of it, but we never actually see it.
I would love to see the party version of Micah and Artie and the serious version of Pete.
I've seen the party version of Joanne. She used to date this Canadian singer. He was the lead singer of some band. And I remember her dancing off to the side of the stage for this concert she was at.
Oh, fun. Well, good. Glad you
nice
can
little mini dress. Yes.
All right. Anybody else outside of Warehouse 13?
Oh, like an actor or like just
the character,
anybody?
The character that they play.
I'd like to see Claudia.
Mrs. Frederick.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I still think Claudia would be funnier. But yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But, well, I don't know. A careless, like, Mrs. Frederick, a cut loose Mrs. Frederick, letting that wig down.
I was thinking about Claudia, and I don't know if you can go there with her character because of her history of being sequestered in a mental institution.
True. That might be really crazy.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too much.
Yeah, might be a little too much. There might be 4 of her or something,
Like to see HG party.
Ooh, HG. That would be a good one. HG. Ooh, how about
Is that a thing now?
How about peristalsis?
Loosen up a little bit.
Yeah. See the party version of him? Ooh. What was the guy?
Or his nephew?
No. Well, yeah, that'd be funny. No, the one that came back from the other timeline.
Oh, Valda.
Valda. Yes. The party version of Valda.
I still can't think of anything other than Badger when I see that man's face. I mean, I know he's played in so many other things, being that and Warehouse and Battle in Galactica. He played Galactica, but still, I think of Badger every time.
Yeah.
Ooh, Starbuck. If you want to go for another series.
I mean,
I've met her in person.
She's all in one anyway. She's the party and the serious all at the same time.
True, but to see both of them separated and then fighting.
Maybe.
I'd like to see something with Joe and Kelly and her together. That'd be great.
Dude, that'd be fun.
Joe and
NHG.
Kelly and Starbuck?
Yeah, the girl that plays Starbuck.
Do you want Micah and Starbuck? Or do you want Katie and
Micah and Starbuck?
Okay.
Micah.
You want
and
them in
Starbuck.
characters. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. So Katie is, I mean, I guess she has another personality, but like her character in The Mandalorian is very much like Starbuck.
Yes and no. She's, I mean, she has another character, Longmire, where she's a deputy.
She did pretty good at that too.
Also
She's good in that.
in a sci-fi show on Netflix.
She was in
Yes.
It started with an A.
Yeah. I can't remember either. I think it got 2 seasons.
She was in Bionic Woman.
She was in Bionic Woman?
Yes.
The newer series?
Yes.
Oh,
she
cool.
wasn't Bionic Woman, but she was in
No,
that.
she was in it. She was one of the nemesis. She was the bad guy.
I know she was in Arrow, I think, wasn't she? Or like Legends of the whatever.
I
she
don't
was
remember she was in
She was
Agents
in
of
one
S.H.I.E.L.D..
of those DC things because I remember her posting about it.
I'd have to go back and look, and I'm not going to do that right now. I do have another question for you two, though. Okay.
Yeah.
So this was very much a themed episode, telenovela themed episode, right?
It was so
And-
funny.
Probably the last theme episode of Warehouse 13 that we're going to
Yep.
get. So I'm going to run through some of the themed episodes, and you guys are going to tell me after we're done which is your favorite. So
All right.
keep that in mind. So the first one that we're going to run into is The Big Snag. That was season 4, episode 13. That was the special black and white noir episode,
Mhm.
right? With Pete and Micah, right?
Mhm.
Lost and Found. I don't know if we want to count this or not, but that was the pirate episode.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of themed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of themed. Yeah.
A Fair to Remember. That was the Renaissance Fair. Okay. So I know you don't like it, but do we count it or not?
That's a
Well,
theme.
it was themed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It had a theme. If we're running with the pirate one, then that one would be themed too.
Right. There was the 2 Christmas episodes. So I think those would count as themed, right? The Greatest Gift and I think it was Santa something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen for a Day. That was the one where
The wedding.
Pete's ex was getting married, right?
Yeah.
So-
Is that not really a theme, is it?
Civil
How was that
War.
themed?
The
Oh,
Civil War reenactment.
okay.
And then, or no, she was the queen. So the Queen of the Court. So they had the two, they had the Civil War reenactment and then they had the Queen of the Court.
Yeah.
Stuff going on.
Her version of that story was them getting married with military stuff, and that's why it was themed.
You had Don't Hate the Player, which was the
Video game.
fantasy game.
Oh yeah.
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 With Fargo.
Yep, with Fargo.
There was the Win and Wear, or Wear and Win, excuse me. That was when Pete and Micah used the time machine to go back to 1961.
Oh, that was a good one too. Yeah.
There was the Vigilante episode in Detroit, Mild Mannered.
Underwear on the outside.
That's
Yes.
right.
Firefly people. Mm-hmm.
She uses the same underwear next episode. Just saying.
Okay. There was the Supermodel episode, Age Before Beauty. I don't know if we count that or not.
And I don't think so.
No.
Okay. There's Secret Santa.
Was that one of the Christmas episodes?
Yeah, and then I don't remember the name of the episode, but it was the one where the Pete and Micah end up in bed together.
Oh yeah.
What was the name of that?
That was the one she turned blonde.
Yes, that was the one she turned blonde in.
I don't think I like that.
I don't remember the name of that one.
Me neither.
Well, there was that episode. So I'll keep finding it. So out of all those, and I can't think of any more unless you guys can
Mm-mm.
come up
I
with
was barely
one.
keeping track of all of those.
So out of all of those, what do you think your favorite themed episode is?
Oh.
Well, that's easy for me. That's easy for me. I like the black and white, the Big Snag.
Mhm.
I like this because
That
it
is
had
a
the,
really good
the
one.
detective story in it.
Yeah.
It had the whole seeing them all dressed up in the 40s and
Yeah, it was a really good one. I did like that.
To me,
one.
that's one of my favorite themed ones. So the elephant, which I think is in next week's episode. To me, I just like. I mean, you got the Dick Tracy feel.
Yeah, definitely. And that was definitely one of my favorites. I think I'd have to go with that one or the video game one.
Okay. Lovesick,
I
by
really
the way.
like the video
That's
game
it.
one.
Lovesick.
Lovesick was the name of the episode where Pete and Micah.
I like
But
the Christmas episodes
this one
too.
did make me laugh. So
Okay.
it wasn't a great. I mean, the storyline was not like perfect or anything, but just the cheesiness of it. I think that's what made me laugh. The cheesiness of Jinx and his two halves and their story. And first one to Tesla, a frat boy gets to keep him. Or Pete sitting in his waiting for Artie to show up. You see him when Artie shows up. You see Pete sitting in the chair with a blanket on him. He's eating almonds while he's watching this telenovela.
There's your food.
He's like, I have no idea what they're saying, but it's getting really intense.
There's your food in the episode.
Well, there was that. There was he was eating a hoagie in the beginning because Artie was like, "Ooh, a hoagie! I want one of those." That was funny in the beginning too. He comes in, he's like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And he starts screaming for Jinx. What? He's like, "You have a ping. Why are you screaming at me like your hair is on fire?" Because Claudia needs to get out.
Yeah. She needs to be distracted. Not that he's preventing her from doing anything, but she's just driving herself crazy thinking about it all the time. I both agree and disagree with that, but
So what's your favorite theme?
Just going by my ranked episode, I would have to put the big snag as the number one, right? But
that was a really good one.
I do like the time travel stuff. I mean, we've talked about that before with 321 and with the 1961 episode as well. So
Is it 321 where they go back and you see HG back in the 18? Yeah, I like that one too.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be my second one because you get to see the cobble streets of London.
Yes.
Right. And I guess if that's your theme, then that would be my number one. But if that's not a themed episode, the big snag would be my next one.
Well, I was about to say, we got 2 episodes left, and I know HG comes back in the last one.
Yeah. Very briefly,
I guess that wouldn't really be considered a theme episode because you're just going back about her memory.
It's just, bringing everything together. All good things, basically, is what I would equate the episode to.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Star Trek.
I know. I mean,
I had the book.
Both the Next Generation, but we've talked about it before. Both the Next Generation finales, both the Picard season 3 and All Good Things, very good episodes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. My favorite. Well, Shannon, I don't think you've mentioned a favorite scene yet. If you had to choose, what do you think would be a good scene?
I like when we got to see a twin of Jinxie. I like him when he was sitting on the stairs talking about, lighten up, our besties here, her girls are out, let's go.
And they're looking fabulous.
They're looking fabulous. I mean, just the flamboyant, over the top way that he played his second
it was so good.
Was amazing. Aaron just did a phenomenal job on playing that shadow puppet.
And his serious part where he was like, all these people, like, do they even drive? Are they over the limit?
Does your mother know where you are?
Do your mother know where you are? Can I see your driver's license?
I wonder if this role really got him the role in Killjoys. Very kind of similar character.
How so?
A little bit.
Well, they're both gay, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he plays a really good
characters. Yeah,
both characters. No, not in real life. No, he's not.
Yeah,
they both have adorable families and kids.
Oh, speaking of, I like when he was dancing on the table with the other guy. I'm like, okay, that was not CGI. I mean, you were actually hanging on to the dude.
Yeah, I liked how he comes parking up next to him. He goes,
"You're gay.
Manicure, looking good. You're gay. No, I'm not. Yes, you are." Isn't that thing? See him dancing on the table. Or Claudia, damn it, I hate having you as a best friend sometimes. I can't come up with any lies.
So, Carolyn, what would you, if you had to choose one, what would it be? Because you had a lot of favorite scenes
I
here.
do have a lot of favorite scenes in this one because every time the trumpets would play when they'd switch off the cufflinks, I was laughing hysterically because it was just stupid and funny. But I loved the Jinx, same thing, sitting on the stairs and lighten up. Get your panties out of a wad, I love that part. Let's see.
I can imagine him and Allison having a hard time keeping a straight face to probably through most of the stuff that they do, but especially in these types of episodes.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of that was my favorite part. So they must have had like hilarious fun just making this episode, as they know that it was getting towards the end, just having a really fun. I mean, there was a storyline to it. At the end, we see that, Claudia's sister is now missing from Artie. Like, what did you do with her? What did I do with who?
Yeah. I mean, it's bad that Artie came in assuming that versus.
I mean, she did do it in the first place. So,
well, I know, but I thought they were over it. So I had 3 favorites that I wrote in. One was Claudia using her assets to get into the party.
That was
right?
good.
So I'm like, oh yeah.
Take a break, ladies.
Definitely.
Yeah, take a break, ladies.
Micah's outfit definitely was pretty cool, but the favorite scene out of the telenovela for me was when Micah and Kelly were fighting with the broom.
I think my favorite scene in there was when they were in the jail and they were going back and forth with, Artie trying to kill Pete.
They only had 2, so
take the
only 2.
cufflinks.
Only 2
I like
of them.
the scene where Pete went into the kitchen to talk to Maribel, and she's mad at him because you promised, you loved me, and you
said you loved me.
She looked like she's about to kick his butt in there. I mean, he's like, time out.
He played it pretty well, though. I mean, he bought into her. And I think that was real for him. I think that's was his real feelings that he was playing into. But he also didn't want to take advantage of her in the state. So that's why he didn't want to kiss her. But he kissed Kelly. I don't know.
He did. Oh, yes. I remember that. Well, it was more like she kissed him. He didn't kiss her. She kissed him and he just happened to be there.
Yeah. So my favorite scene, though, out of all that was when Pete was thinking the baby was his. Like,
that was so funny.
Brain clutch.
Pete, exhale.
I like how Mike is walking up. Kelly, thank God you're here to distract him.
I know.
Get him to shut up.
Because he's the one that wants naked fembots in her book.
Well, I mean, don't we all?
Not
yes,
me.
we do. Yes, we do.
I don't.
Yes. Yes, you do.
So really quick, this episode was directed by Jack Kinney. It was second to last. He does the last episode. So we have one more episode directed by somebody else and then back to Jack Kinney. It was written by Diego Gutierrez, and he has 13 writing credits, including an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and 1 episode of V, the new one, not the old one, but it doesn't matter. They were both good.
The new one with Marina.
Yeah.
3
episodes of Warehouse 13, Second Chance, What Matters Most, and this one, Savage Seduction. He also did 6 episodes of a series called From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, which
never watched it.
I've never seen that. And then 1 episode of the Netflix One Piece, which was a very good season. I think the next season should be coming out soon.
Haven't seen it.
That's who wrote this, Diego Gutierrez. And I think it was, well written. It was a fun, I'm on the fence, and we'll get to that in a second. I'm on the fence. It was a fun episode, but did I really like it because of all the subtitling? Probably not. All right.
That did make it harder, but if they spoke in English, you would have lost something out of it. So.
Probably. So Paula played Dr. Kelly Hernandez, and she has 50 acting credits since 1991. She was in the 2002 movie Clock Stoppers with Michael Biehn, talking about aliens. I don't remember too much about it, but I think I saw it. He was in the 2005 movie, which I know you both have, called Man of the House.
That's another one thanks to you.
I got one today thanks to you.
Yeah, you did.
What did you get?
Where the Heart Lies, I think it's called.
Yeah, when the heart is.
Ashley Judd and
So mine should be in the mail at some point. I'm
Natalie
guessing.
Portman.
thank you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Waiting for
Okay.
it.
Another one to
Strictly.
add to the collection.
Man of the House is with the Fugitive Oscar winner, Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, I was going to say which one, Harrison Ford
love
or Tommy
that
Lee
man.
Jones?
Yeah.
I
so-
love that man.
Right. So he's in Man of the House, and you both have that. So go watch
Yep.
that. So Kelly played one of the cheerleader girls in there.
In
She
all
was
of
in
my spare time.
one episode of the new Knight Rider. Again, not bad, but
I watched
not
it.
as
It
good.
was okay.
Yeah. 28 episodes of The Shield as Officer Tina Hamlin.
I never watched The Shield, but I knew about it.
She was in all 13 episodes of an ABC series that I really wish they would have kept going called Defying Gravity. And this was one that they were visiting all the planets in the solar system. It was one mission. The planets were lined up so that they could actually visit all of the planets. In the first season, I think they got Venus and Mercury in, and then they were going to go out to Mars the second season, but it was canceled. So all they got was 13 episodes.
Ew.
It was, I thought it
All
was
they
a
needed was 9 episodes, right?
good- well, maybe if they did that, it would have been fine, but it was kind of like Grey's Anatomy in space. That's everybody said. It's Grey's Anatomy in space. And like, we already have it in a hospital. We don't need it in space. So it didn't get a lot of great ratings. She was in one episode of The Good Wife, one episode of Elementary, 6 episodes of Warehouse 13.
Elementary.
This was, yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I should have stopped there. And then, and then
Lucy Lawless.
this is
Good
her
stuff.
last episode
Oh, what,
of
Lucy
Warehouse
Lawless, was
13.
it?
Lucy Lawless is in Elementary. I think you would like Elementary, actually.
Lucy Lawless, as in Xena.
No, not Lucy Lawless. I'm
I didn't
sorry.
think so.
I was
Lucy
gonna
Liu,
say-
maybe? Lucy Liu, maybe?
Lucy Liu. I'm sorry.
like, if
Lucy
that is
Liu.
not.
Yeah, no. Lucy
I may
Liu.
not have ever seen all of Elementary, but I promise you, that's not that New Zealand
It's not Xena.
gigantic
Sorry, my bad. Wrong person.
lesbian maker.
We didn't have. She's more than lesbian maker. I mean, the guys liked her too. Okay. We didn't have what I would consider to be a guest star in this episode, but we had recognizable people. And one of them was Craig Eldridge. He played the professor.
Oh, yeah, that we saw for all of like 2 seconds.
Yeah, he has 75 acting credits since 1984. Actually, I think he has more than that. I think I wrote that down incorrect, so I'm looking it up. Oh my gosh, yes, that was the wrong thing because I was totally looking up the wrong person. I think he's got close to
Oops.
200.
I hate it when that
them.
happens.
I do, because I clicked on the link and it went to another one of the actors. I'm like,
You're like,
no.
dang it, wrong button. Wrong Levi.
So I'll get to it in a second here, but he's been in some stuff that we have collectively seen, and you would have remembered him from a couple of his performances because he's got a very noticeable face. What his big thing was, he was the crime scene reporter in The Long Kiss Goodnight. I don't know if either of you two watched
That's
that
a great
movie.
movie. That's a great movie.
That was a movie. Oh, okay. No.
Movie
The
from
Long Kiss Goodnight
1996.
with Ashley Judd and Morgan Freeman.
Oh, cool.
It's a great.
It's been in a lot of other stuff. Covert Affairs. Did either of you two watch
Oh, I
that?
loved Covert Affairs. That was a good show.
He was in 12 episodes of that.
Okay.
In a lot of onesie, twosie. Overall, it's 114. So I was a little off on 200. But he was in like an episode of Haven,
Oh, that was also a good show.
right?
I liked Haven.
I kind of had a love-hate relationship with that whole thing. He was in an episode of Designated Survivor.
That's a good episode. I mean, that's a good series too.
I was going to say, was that that one and only episode was good?
He was in 2 episodes of Odyssey 5, an episode of The West Wing. And so I have seen him before, but I don't know. The other 2 actors of note were 2 very heavily telenovela actresses. One was Nana, and she has 75 acting credits, including 148 of a telenovela. But she was also in 6 episodes of Ed, the bowling alley lawyer
Never watched.
one. and an episode of Jessica Jones, an episode of Constantine, two episodes of 30 Rock, and an episode of The Sopranos. So she's been around. Her name is
Kind of makes sense.
Teresa Yankee, I believe is how you pronounce her name. And then the other one, Alicia, was played by, Alicia was her character, and she was played by Sonia Braga, who has 87 acting credits since 1968. And her telenovela, oh my gosh, 325 appearances in one, 327 appearances in
Holy
another,
Moses.
136 appearances in another, 160 in another, 173 in another, 154 in another.
That was the mom, right?
No, Alicia, she was the person that was trying to kill the Nana. She put the pills off.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned
the mom
Soprano
of Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a part in there where Micah was like, "Who are you people?" And she was like, I'm this and I'm Nurse Jackie, and I mean she was naming off those different characters from the show.
Yeah.
She was in 3 episodes of Luke Cage, 4 episodes of Royal Pains, 2 episodes of Brothers and Sisters, and 5 episodes of Alias, and 3 episodes of Sex and the City. Yeah, Alias and Sex and the City. So she's been in some stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Just that stuff that I would generally. I mean, I watched Luke Cage, and that's about it there. So it did have actors of note, and I think they brought the right actors in since they were doing the telenovela.
Yeah. It made they played them well, and the slaps and things. Smack. Oh.
Yeah. So Micah gets
dramatic slaps.
Micah gets slapped, and I'm like, she would, if that was Micah, she would not put up with that.
Or it's just as Kelly's leaving the room, and he's just here. My subtitles, it was so funny. Cat growls, and you just hear this like roar after you see Micah after she gets slapped. It was so funny. Like the subtitle cracked me up more because it said cat growl.
All right. It's time to play the game, but we can't play the game. And the reason why we can't play the game is I have not picked where I would put this episode, because it was a fun episode, but I hated the fact that I had to listen to her while watching the subtitles, right? It was well done, but it wasn't something that I would watch over. I even hate the sci-fi stuff that that's coming out these days, that they're speaking in all these made-up languages. I'm like, give me the English. Give me the English. I appreciate your authenticity, but I want the English.
I think if it's well done, like it was in Firefly, when they'd curse in Chinese, or in The Expanse when they would talk Belter or something like that. I think that's well played. Different words, different languages. Yeah. But yeah.
All right. So I don't know where to put this. And what do you guys think? 1 to 62. Where would you put this?
Probably
if you stay with just the B side of the storyline with Claudia and Jinx.
Yeah.
I thought that ranked it up pretty high because their interaction was pretty funny.
True.
It didn't bring the world building further, though.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. But it's never going to... That side is the only part of this episode that I like.
Okay. So you'd rank it what? Out of 62?
I'd rank it at least in the 60. Actually, surprisingly enough, I'm going to say I ranked this above the week before episode. The Fair to Remember?
Yeah, but when you were choosing where you thought I was, you were really low with that.
I don't remember where you went with it.
I went 16. You were like 50.
Yeah, I was like, it's because I didn't like the episode.
No, and that's fine. And that's the dichotomy I'm having right now is I don't think it's a bad episode, but I don't think it's a great episode either. So maybe I should just do 31.
Give it halves.
Yeah, 31 right now is Second Chance. That's Pete and Micah investigate the case of people literally rusting away in a West Virginia mill town. And Steve and Claudia visit his hometown. Oh, it's under that because Steve's hometown made that episode. and it's world building.
Rusting away. Which one was that?
Pete and Mike investigate the case of people literally rusting away in West Virginia Milltown.
Is that the one where they would cough and?
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny that there's so many good episodes throughout the entire series. It's amazing to me that you can even rank them. I'm having a hard time even remember the episodes, unless it's a really episode that really stuck out for me that I really like the Big Snag. I thought they did that that was amazing. But there were still episodes back in season 2 that I like. So
I know. It's not that I don't like it. It's just not a episode that I would put high up on the list because of you didn't get anything of the world building to go forward, and
Right.
I had to watch the subtitles. It was a fun episode, but I don't know. I'm going to put it at 32 after we
that
talked
makes
about
sense.
it.
That makes sense.
So after some thoughts here, I would definitely just put it in the middle. We're going to put it at 32. It's going to be underneath Second Chance, which is where Steve went home. And that was kind of world building for Steve. We didn't get any world building in this. It's not a bad episode. It's not a great episode either. So I'll put it at 32. All right, moving on. We have feedback. We have
Yay!
emails. We have 3 emails.
Yay!
he loves us. He loves us.
From the same person. Yes, this is Clyde. Clyde said, personally, I always liked the Downtown Earth Pete character. He evolved nicely throughout, but I absolutely hated his hairstyle this last season.
yes.
Just my 2 cents.
Me too.
He-
Agreed.
I think we talked about last time. He must have been doing that for a different episode on some other
Had
series
to.
because
had to,
it was
'cause-
not a good look on him.
It was terrible. No, not good at all.
Daddy's gained a little weight.
Yes. Well, you know, he actually looked a little bit more fit for this one.
Yeah,
but-
he did. He looked like he gained it in the first couple of episodes, and then this one he looks like he lost it. So maybe he was just having really bad bloat.
Maybe.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Clyde's second email said, personally, I always liked the Oh, dang it.
No, it's he said the same thing, but then after my 2 cents, he says, "But
Okay,
I love
I see.
Castle, great series."
Yeah,
and
but I
Pete
love
was-
Castle. And Pete was good as a crazy husband X in the one episode he was in.
That's very true.
And that was the episode that we think his hair had to grow out for.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, the last one from Clyde said, very quick thoughts. I take Alice Liddell after the mirror is broken up, like in the Harry Potter series. I think she is in all of them and or can bounce between the shards.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
That's my thought.
Yeah, I think when you see her, you see all of her, all the pieces. No matter what piece you pick up, it's all her. And she can
All right.
go between
Yeah.
all of them.
Yep.
He goes on and says, I personally think the rules didn't change on neutralizing artifacts. I think some artifacts are just seriously stronger artifacts. For example, the Dark Vault items aren't fully neutralized, even with the purple glow. And in this specific case, they were combining artifacts, which could have negated the protection.
Hey, that's a thought.
Yeah.
That's a good thought. Yeah. Hey, that's a good thought. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
obviously
do.
didn't. So thank you, Clyde, for emailing us. We really appreciate it. And if
Yeah.
you want to get us an email, you have 2 more chances because we have 2 more episodes. We're going to have an off week in there. So you have 3 weeks basically to get us your emails. And that is warehouse13fancast@gmail.com. Warehouse, the numbers 13 fancast@gmail.com.
We would greatly appreciate it. We love your feedback. We love hearing your thoughts. Just something that we
We do.
haven't thought of. Pretty please.
Nice to know we're not the only ones out there watching this then again.
all of 2 or 3 listeners that we have.
Although we might be the only ones watching it now that it's off of Amazon Prime for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gone on and off Amazon a couple times, and
During
still
our
find it,
podcast,
so-
even.
it just proves to show that it's a good series that people. I mean, I own most of it except for this season. I own all the box sets, so I'm willing to still pay for it.
So I did go to the Reddit, the Warehouse 13 subreddit, and there was just a few hours ago a post about it no longer streaming. And I did check the Just Watch app to see if it had caught on somewhere else. It has not updated yet. It might not be available anywhere else yet or not. And that was indicated on that Reddit post that I read. And I did check a couple other streaming services and did not find it for free anywhere else. It's not on Netflix. I'll
So it's
tell
just
you
on
that.
Amazon now.
Yeah, I didn't see it on Disney
Paid.
Plus. I didn't see it on Hulu. I didn't see it on Peacock or Paramount, but I could have run over it on some of those. But yep, you got to buy it. You can buy it per episode. You can buy it streaming for the season, or you can buy the actual physical media copies like Shannon has.
Like
All
me.
on Amazon.
Well, I bought this
Not that
box
we're
set.
sponsored by Amazon by any means. Not at all. We're not sponsored by anybody.
Well, I'm going to claim Amazon more than I'll ever claim Di-Fi. So, okay.
That's
And I
true.
claim
Yeah.
Redbubble too. How many times have I done Redbubble?
Redbubble.
Redbubble.
You really should have a sponsorship from
I
Redbubble.
should, for all the stickers that I own from that company.
I remember the first picture you showed me of your car that you had. You barely see out the back window because you had so many stickers.
I had so many,
Redbubble.
and they were, even then, they were Warehouse 13. And Defiance.
Even then, they were Warehouse 13. Defiance.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got Warehouse 13 right now on it. I've got Star Trek. I've got.
I think, wasn't one of them kind of like this? The snag it, bag it, and tag
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
One of them was like that. Yeah.
And then I got the, you remember for the big snag when they had the black and white sign that said Warehouse 13 and it blinked?
Yes.
I had that sticker. 'cause
Yep,
I
I
had
remember that.
t-shirt.
I remember you sending me those pictures, and I'm like, damn, woman, how do you see out your
Right
car?
now, yeah, right now I've got Winona Earp. I've got a Bering and Wells sticker. I've got I've got a Star Trek one, a Winona,
I think you should take a picture of it and post it on your Twitter.
and then I've got a Jason Aldean on the other side.
You should definitely take a picture and post it on your Twitter thing.
I got a Way Hot from Winona. I should. I got t-shirts, I've got signatures, everything. I remember getting the signature from Allison at in 1999 when she,
that would have been so
1999.
cool.
In 2009 when she came to the Dallas Con, that she said that was the first signature that she had done in the US. I got
That is so cool.
I was first in line for her.
I would have been too. Dude, we should really go to a con together. All three of us.
I'm game. I'm game.
I mean,
That
we
means
had
you're going to
talked
come this
about
way.
going to Dragon Con, but I just don't think that's going to be reality this year.
No, unfortunately. Someone has to buy a new car.
Yeah, and job
I like to have a
insecurities and stuff
full-time
like
job, you know.
that.
I
Yeah, me
have to
me
buy a
too.
new car.
I just want a full-time job, that, you know, that I don't have to worry about balance issues. So
Yeah.
Yes. So
All right.
Shannon needs a new job. I have to buy a new car. SP's just broke anyway.
Dallas
So
just had a
we're all
con,
just
but
not
there's
going
nobody
anywhere.
there that I want to see.
But we have the desire to go to a con together.
Yes,
Me too.
I like. It seems like the Rose City Con. They had
Yeah,
better
Rose City
here.
Comic Con.
The one they just had one here in Dallas at the end of April or last week, or the other. But it has no people that I would want to go see. San Antonio's been
Mine-
getting the big ones of Star Trek.
Oh yeah. My Rose City so far they're getting, because I think it's Goonies 40 years or something like that. They're getting a bunch of people from Goonies to go
It's
to
either
it, and I was like,
Goonies
oh,
or
that's my
Back to the
generation.
Future, or they always have the Hobbit.
There's already panels out there from the Goonies reunion. I forget where it was. I want to say it's C2E2, but I think it might have been somewhere else. And then also the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah. So I know there's a bunch, and then there's another show that's got people from it. I don't remember what the show was, but and then they always have like a lot of comic artists and a lot of voice actors. The time I don't know them, except for the one year that
Dallas
I did
seems
know.
to like bringing all the people from the Hobbit.
Oh.
Sean Astin.
Well, Sean Astin's gonna be here, but he was in the Goonies, so that's why he's here is for the Goonies reunion. So they got
I just
most
remember
of the people
the
that were in the
Bengals
Goonies.
doing the soundtrack for the Goonies.
Yes, Every time I see the Goonies, I think of you because of the bangles.
Hey, I was so happy yesterday Michaela came home and she's wearing my old Bengals t-shirt. I'm like, yes, I've raised you right. And I'm looking at her and they look at me and I'm like, wearing Def Leppard. I'm like, yes. Yes.
I mean, Goonies had some power in their actors. Josh Brolin, he became Thanos in the Avengers. I mean, and lots of other stuff
That's
too.
Thanos?
Yes, that's Thanos. Yes, that's Thanos.
Oh,
Well,
I
and,
didn't know that. I didn't know
I
that.
mean, the guy who played Data.
Brent Spiner.
Brent Spiner?
No, in the Goonies.
Oh, yeah. Short round.
Not Data in Star Trek. Data in the Goonies.
Notice how quick we were to say Brent Spiner.
Yes, I know. Star Trek on the brain.
Always.
All
Actually,
right.
it's on the arm.
Star Trek on the arm.
Look how vibrant it still looks. Can't wait
I
for
know.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds to come out.
Another episode that's on our brain is the next episode that we're doing for Warehouse 13.
Yes, it is.
I
Nice
watched it
transition.
earlier.
The
pronounce
penultimate
it.
Warehouse 13 episode, season 5, episode
What?
5. And Shannon, if you've heard it in the show, please let me know. I'm going to do my best to try to pronounce this. Kangku Shizizi.
They
Hey, what?
said
That's
it,
the title of it?
but it was said by Valda, so I don't know. It's some kind of Chinese word. It's a Chinese word.
Cangku, Kangoo, and then Shisi, Shisi.
Easy
We're
for you
just
to
going
say.
to call that one. That
All right.
episode. Next
Episode
week.
5.
The penultimate episode of Warehouse 13. Shannon, you get the honor of choosing. You can choose which synopsis that we actually read for the penultimate episode. You can choose the tvguide.com description, the Amazon Prime Video description, or the IMDb or the Internet Movie Database description.
Amazon.
Amazon Prime Video description reads, the Warehouse team discovers that Valda, guest star Mark Shepard, has escaped from Paracelsus' alternative universe and is attempting to move the Warehouse to China using Claudia's comatose sister Claire as a puppet caretaker. Pete, Micah, Artie, Claudia, and Steve must race across the world to stop Valda before he becomes too powerful.
Doe? Uh-oh.
And
This sounds serious.
Shannon, you have seen it, and we will talk about it next time.
Yep. I watched it today.
Skipping forward on us. Rude.
I know.
Well, I was like, well, I got to watch it now before it all disappears. And then I started it last night, and then I got distracted, and then I started again today and had to pay for it. I'm like, well, now I'm going to go finish it. So,
Yeah, exactly.
You get distracted. That never happens.
well, like now she's sending me pictures. I get distracted.
Okay, Sasha,
All
come
right.
on. Let us finish our podcast.
Yeah, let's
She's
keep this
like,
PG. Keep it PG.
Where are you
Keep
at?
it PG.
Where are you at? I'm like, hang on. Hold that thought.
All right.
No touchy.
Okay, Sasha, you can have her back.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to get out of here. I am the janitor, SP, going to pick up the cleaned Micah's French-made outfit from the cleaners.
I thought you were going to say undies. I'm like, that's my job. Okay. I'm the sci-fi girl. Bye.
It's Ocean 363. Olé!
Olé.
Thanks for joining us for an episode of the Artie's Attic Warehouse 13 Fancast. You can find all our episodes at warehouse13fancast.com. If you'd like to contact us, you can hit us up on our email at warehouse13fancast@gmail.com. We are a part of the Lone Wolf Podcast Network. You can hear more of this cast and other shows like it by checking out lonewolfpodcasts.com. The intro music is Sci-Fi Hybrid Intro by Soundmake, and the outro music is Science Fiction by Tunes to Go. Both were purchased on pond5.com.
I got a call from Toyota today, and my vehicle has gone into production. It's being produced in Kentucky. So by the end of the month, I'll probably have my new vehicle.
Kentucky.
I could go down there and screw it up for you.
Well,
Kid.
Mom and Dad think it's going to come up here with a Southern accent. So
I got a little bit of false hope today. There was a memo circulated in the DoD that basically
Really?
said, yeah, as long
We haven't
as
even hit play yet. My God.
poop.
It happened now.
I don't know. Kids must be on the internet. We were fine last week.
Yeah. But remember, Sean had the girls out of the house.
See? It's the kids on the internet. Kids are still sucking all the internet.
Sean was also out of the internet, out of the house.
Well, true. Tell everybody to get off the damn internet.
Here she comes.
Nope. Sean's not here. Michaela's asleep.
Oh,
I don't
you
know what
heard
happened.
us.
No, but I'm sure what you were saying.
It's probably the kids are on the internet.
That was a good one. You should have a sound effect for that one.
Ole!
You should have a sound effect for
I
like
need the trumpets too, though.
Yeah,
I
you
need the
need the trumpet
trumpets
sound.
and then ole!
Da, da, da. I wonder if that was Micah's real hair.
It was pretty good if it was. It was
Just
very
the look she
bubbly.
kept giving Pete.
It was very bubbly. Flipped it around.
It's like you wanted to hear the snap every time she moved her head.
I was watching Micah's stance as she was in character or outside of character, anywhere in the telenovela, and her stance is just so.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
Perky?
Yeah, that's one way.
Perky would be the word you could call it.